Alright, so I promised you guys that I was gonna do a video on making your own art supplies. You're probably thinking, what is she even talking about? How could I possibly do that? Now, I had to do a little bit of research myself. Here's a little spoiler alert. I was looking into potentially making some kind of a video where I do the food on your face art challenge where you use food products to make your makeup instead. And I came across some of those ideas and thought, well, this would actually work really well for painting with. So I decided to go through, find some things around my house that I could use to make my own art supplies, as I know that many of us don't always have those things. So unless you're really into art or you're an art teacher like me, you probably don't have a full set of watercolors and oil pastels and acrylic paints at home. You might not even have brushes. You might not even have drawing pencils. So I've got a few different ways that you can try out some techniques to make your own. So check that out with me. So I have a few different things I found around my house that I thought we might be able to make something with. So I found some cocoa powder. Oh, that's a terrible glare. Tea. I had coffee this morning, of course, because how else would I get through my day? So I put my coffee grounds still in their filter. Your parents might have some of that from the morning. And I put that in some water, and I'm already getting some colored water. Stack that there. I'll put it out of the way. If maybe there's some leftover old makeup nobody's going to use laying around, I grabbed some of that stuff. That might be cool for you to use if it's laying around your house and no one's going to use it. This is something that you're doing at home, so I expect every single one of you will go to your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and say, hey, this is my project. This is what I need to do. Can you help me find some things I'm allowed to use? Don't go taking all of their food out of their kitchen. Don't go stealing makeup because it's not yours. This expensive stuff, okay? So, got some lipsticks. I've got an eyeshadow blush, something. I don't know. I don't really use it. Tea, cocoa powder. I've got my coffee beans over there. I brought also this matcha powder. You probably don't have that at home. It's a really weird thing to own, but that's why I grabbed it because I never cook with it. So it's got a green color. Thought it might be neat to use for paint. I grabbed some containers to mix some things in, so let's see what I can do. Okay, so right now, here's what I've got so far. I made a little bit of this pink using some old lipstick. Had that green, that's that matcha powder from earlier I mixed up. Got my cocoa powder, made a nice brown color for me, and my eyeshadow made like this really cool shimmery pink that I could use. So obviously you might not have the exact same tools at home that I did. You might not have those same materials. Please see what you can come up with that's different even than what I have, because I have my own ideas, but I'm sure you've got some really neat stuff you could come up with at home as well. For now, I would just love to see what you can make. If you come up with anything different than I did, please write me, let me know. I'd love to see or hear about what you've been able to create. And I'd love to see what you make with it. So before I get started, let me show you some of the tools we'll be using today. I'm going to be using a regular paintbrush. It's a round tip paintbrush. Not everybody has paintbrushes at home. If you do, great. If you don't, you can very easily order them or pick them up at the next time you guys go out to Walmart. They're pretty cheap there. If not, there are other options that you can use for creating. You can always use something that has a pointed end, like a pencil or an old fork, for example. And we can dip those tools into our colors and draw our paint with them. That's absolutely a really neat way to do it. I've also used sticks, combs. There's an endless amount of things you can use. Leaves, twigs, whatever you can come up with. I also had an old makeup brush that I don't really use, so I thought I'd try that out and see how different it is from a regular paintbrush. So let's see what we can do. Alright, y'all, I don't even know. Sometimes you just paint and it just looks like a crazy mess, but you love it anyway. Because that's where I'm at right now. I had a lot of fun making this. It does not by any means represent my my best work. But you know what? We're also working with materials that are not really made for this either. So I think there's something to be learned in doing this. Playing around with new materials is a great idea just to get yourself thinking new creative ways and having a good time. I don't want you to do this with the intention of making something that is perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Art's not about perfection. It's about having a good time combined with building your knowledge and your creativity. So we're having fun by just exploring something new and learning through it. I want you guys to have a great time trying out some of these new things. Tell me what you come up with. I'd love to see what kind of materials you can use to create your own art supplies. So until next time, it's Miss Grill.